Welcome back. We are counting down the final Alfred Hitchcock movies in the 501 Must-See Movies book. And number 4 is To Catch a Thief. So, To Catch a Thief has Grace Kelly, and I was really excited to watch it because, as you know from my Rear Window video, I fell in love with Grace Kelly during that movie. I've heard about her for a long time. I've never actually seen her movies until these movies, and she is flawless. She's amazing. I think she's wonderful. I'm definitely going to read up more about her, and I really enjoyed her acting in this, and I did enjoy the story and the concept of this movie. The reason why I put it as number 4 is because I figured out who the thief was very early on. There was a lot going on. There's a lot of hidden dialogue, a lot of things that led you to believe it could be this person or it could be that person, and I give Alfred Hitchcock props for that. Unfortunately, because I watch so many movies, and maybe it's just something that I would say it's a gift, but sometimes it's a burden. I can usually sniff out twists before they come. This doesn't happen all the time, and there are other Hitchcock movies on this list that were able to do that, and I was really hoping and expecting Alfred Hitchcock to be able to do that with this film, but unfortunately the person who I thought the thief was, and as the movie went on, I grew more suspicious and more suspicious, and when it was that person, I kind of was like, oh, I wish it wasn't that person. Like, I wish he was leading me down that road just to like pull the rug under me, but it didn't happen. So in spite of the fact that it was an amazing movie, I didn't like the fact that it was pretty obvious who the thief was. One thing that I did notice about this movie is the camera angles and the way that Alfred Hitchcock uses the camera to tell a story. So one specific scene that I'm thinking of is when there's 2 gentlemen having a conversation in the office, and every time we're talking to the one gentleman, the camera is shooting upwards, and we're talking to the other gentleman is shooting downwards. And it's a really interesting visual, and it really shows the power between these 2 men. And it got me thinking that it's something I've never noticed in any other director's movies. And I wonder why there aren't any directors who are trying to emulate or borrow the style of Alfred Hitchcock. Like, you shouldn't outright steal ideas from a different director, but if there's something that's working really well, and it makes these movies so epic and so memorable, it's shocking to me that nobody has ever tried to do the camera angles and the camera work that Alfred Hitchcock does. Now, I realize it's a huge amount of planning, and even when I think about how much planning would have to go into all these movies, especially there's a lot of movies where there's long scenes with no dialogue, and it's just camera angles, physical acting, it's just the actor's facial expressions, and there's a lot of planning that goes into that. But these movies are amazing, and the fact that there aren't any directors that are trying to do that or trying to do something similar these days makes me really sad. Really sad it took me so long to watch these movies and to know how great Alfred Hitchcock actually was. So, breaking news, I was looking up To Catch a Thief in the book because I couldn't remember if the name of the movie was How to Catch a Thief or To Catch a Thief, and I found an 8th Alfred Hitchcock movie. There's one in here called Rebecca. I've never even heard of it. I'm going to try and watch it and work it into here, but I totally missed it. There are 8 Alfred Hitchcock movies.